Hello, James?
Yep.
Hey, Steven.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. So...
Appreciate you riding out here.
What's that?
I appreciate you riding out here.
Oh, yeah.
You just started your shift.
Pretty much. A little bit ago.
Did you guys even get out of meetings, or did you come right out?
I just came pretty much straight here. I talked with my supervisor a little bit, because this is a pretty strange situation.
Right. She's a pretty strange person.
Yeah. Was there issues here with fires last year?
Yep, that was her. She lit his property on fire.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. This is any issue that you've heard about out here has been driven from her, and there's been quite a few. So this is the gate. That's Mike DiNapoli's house, who is out of town right now.
Yeah.
And he and I have been working together with all this stuff. And then that's Bob McCown's house. And he's the one that called and said she locked the gate, which is obviously illegal.
But he's not really involved because he has his own...
He has his own access and everything. He's just, we're all good friends.
Yeah.
They're good friends, and I know Mike really well. So, and then my property, if you take this and you take it to the end, we've got, it's right over there. There's two separate properties.
So is this the only way to access your property? What is this road?
This is something he built, which is seasonal, as you can see. It's all clay.
Yeah.
And it's seasonal because she kept parking equipment and cars in the way of him. And so it became such a hazard for him and a hassle. He said a few times he actually had to walk. She'd park something down here, and he would have to walk to his house. And so finally he was just like, screw this. He didn't want to deal with her. He was trying to be a friendly neighbor for a long time.
Yeah.
About 15 years they've been dealing with this.
Okay.
That's what we're going on. So this is all new, though. She's like amped up.
Yeah.
They're pretty sure she killed his dog. Her dog got poisoned randomly. Couldn't prove anything.
Yeah.
She bear maced the dog, though, on a regular basis.
Okay.
She used to ride by on a bicycle and hit the dog in the face. And she chased, I guess Amazon delivers right to here.
Yeah.
And his son came down with their new dog, and she showed up on a horse and chased the kid so bad that he went running off and dropped the Amazon package on a horse, trying to get the dog. She was hoping the dog would attack the horse and baiting the dog, but the problem was it's a 13-year-old kid. What if the horse gets spooked and kicks the kid in the face?
Yeah.
You know, and so there's like all kinds of shit like this going on. She does the same thing to his dog. She used to bear mate, do all kinds of crap too. And so anyway, I want an official report. We all want to press charges, all three of us.
So who's all three of us? Sorry, just break it down for me.
Yeah, so Mike DiNapoli, Mel Fressenberg, I don't know his last name off the top of my head.
And they're all supposed to have access via this.
Yep.
What is this road called
Amity
again?
Lane.
Amity Lane. So it is a private road, correct?
It is a non-exclusive easement. So it is a private road that the county has recognized as a street.
Okay.
Which I have all the paperwork on and the history of. You want a jacket? It's chilly.
Yeah, and just after you explain, so there's this guy, and then you said someone named Mel.
Mel, who owns a property, he's out of Denver area, and then us, we're the far back property.
Okay.
And
can you access your property without going through here, or do you have to go through here?
I have to go through here.
Okay.
This is the only road in and out. And this is, I mean, my dad developed this.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, this was 100 and something acres. And back in the early 2000s, my dad bought the whole thing and subdivided it into these three parcels. So she was already here.
Okay.
Or she just bought it or something. But anyway, this was like a 2-track road that was nothing.
Yeah.
And we made this is the short version. This became the official ingress and egress for everybody, her included.
Yeah.
Because the previous owner granted it to her. Now she thinks it's hers. I mean, you can see. Private driveway, no trespassing. Her property line, seriously, is 400 yards over there. Doesn't this look like the entrance to her ranch?
You know, when I was looking at the map, it looked like this was part of her property.
Yeah.
At least according to our GIS map. I'm not too sure if you want to look at that with me.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I've looked at the county GIS map quite a bit and everything else.
Yeah. Because it looked like most of this drive was within, what is their last name? Like
Fitzsimmons?
Fitzsimmons, that's what it is.
So
So maybe
it's
it was
a
it.
non-exclusive easement
Okay.
that runs through here.
Okay.
It's not private property.
Okay.
Right.
For sure. Alright, so let me just...
I'm gonna grab a coat.
Okay.
This storm.
Okay, so you were definitely right. This comes through Dana Poli.
Yeah.
And which one's your property?
So that far back one.
This one?
Next one over.
So there's no address on it, or
There's not, because it hasn't been established. That's actually what has caused her to get all up and upset, is the fact that I got ready to develop a road and got all of our easements marked out. We got and that's why I came out here too. I've got a bunch of engineering stakes running along easements, showing everything else. Also why I'm extremely educated in this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a developer in town. We have a lot of property. We do a lot of stuff like this. So I'm not just guessing at what's going on. I've done a full case study on this. Had multiple civil engineers involved, multiple lawyers involved, all sorts of different parties that are experts.
Right.
And we've all kept telling her. She has a letter from the civil engineer, and she has a letter from a lawyer who's a land lawyer. I don't know if you know Sally Clausen in town, but she knows real estate really well.
Right.
And contract law.
Yeah.
And she is actually the one that originally wrote up the contracts for the easement and notarized. Well, was her notary.
Right.
They both mailed her and said, "You're crazy. You're wrong. This is a non-exclusive easement. It's public for everybody. We know it well." And I had engineering mark it. They came through. They've checked all the points, put it on satellite, the whole nine. It's the same exact easement that she has, we have, and we actually have an earlier one of it.
Right.
And she, for some reason, cannot get it through her head that this is not her driveway. It is a non-exclusive easement for everybody out here to use.
Yeah, I don't know much about civil law or anything like that, so...
No.
Yeah, so, okay, you're saying, so it's Michael, or here,
Fitzsimmons, and he says call him. He's on standby because he'd like to press charges.
or Michael DiNapoli?
DiNapoli.
DiNapoli.
That's the old owner.
Okay, so who lives here now?
Oh no, what did I just say?
Fitzsimmons.
Oh, I'm sorry. Names. DiNapoli. Mike
Okay.
DiNapoli.
So Mike DiNapoli.
That's who's on call. Yeah.
You, John, or this says John
That's
Hanley.
my dad.
Okay, so this is the property that you have.
Yep.
I guess. Hold on, just one
No,
moment.
take it.
Hey, this is Steven. Hey. I did not. 189-107.
Route First 1322.
First 1322.
American Stagecoach and Individual Deputy. Have a good night.
Have a heavy man. 17.
There she is. I'm pretty sure that's her.
Yeah, this is a street. It's an actual, I guess, private driveway, but it's like multiple people need to access it to get to their property.
It's a dedicated street.
It is a dedicated street from the county.
I have the paperwork on that too.
Cali 17.
Wait, I'm sorry, can you say that again?
I would say charge her ass.
Okay.
Whoever's doing this, charge them.
Yep, I believe it's Kathleen Fitzsimmons, so she might be coming here in just a minute, so yeah, I think that's an appropriate charge. Because I was looking at some other ones, like possibly obstruction of justice, if someone had an emergency, but that isn't the case right now. But yeah, this one looks perfect for this situation.
All right, yeah, sounds good.
Route Charlie 60.
It was still locked when you got out there?
Yeah, I'm right here now and it's still locked.
Can you show all patients on service? Have a good evening.
How many residents is she blocking access
At
to?
the moment, it's just her and his are the only 2 permanent residents.
So there's only 2 permanent residences that,
I'm in the process of
and the RP right now doesn't have a permanent residence out there, but he needs to access that property for, well, it's his property, he needs to access it. So at the moment, she's only half blocking one person because they actually built their own kind of road, seasonal road, around it. But she is blocking the RP at least from getting to his property that he needs to access.
And she's blocking construction is really what she's trying to stop.
Okay.
She just doesn't want us working.
It's a property. It's not an official residence at this moment.
I don't think that matters.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it according to the statute.
Okay. All right. So,
Well, it looks like she came, saw me, and turned around and left. At least, do you believe that was her?
Maybe. She has a white Ford just like it, but it could have
Okay.
been these neighbors. I don't know.
Oh yeah, well she has a white Ford, and we just saw a white Ford crest over the hill, see us, and turn around and leave.
She has a current trespassing too.
Yeah, I guess I could walk up there. About how far up is that house?
It's a good run. You can drive through. Mike's fine with it.
Okay.
You can just drive right around and you'll find your way.
Okay.
There's another person normally up there. His name's John. That stays with her.
Okay. Yeah, I'll see if she's there, and if she is, I'll charge her with that. All right. Thanks for helping me look for that. All right, will do. Thank you. All right, bye.
This is a weird one, man.
Yeah, everything. Hold on.
show me around.
Yeah, because everything I was looking at, it didn't really look like it would be a actual criminal thing unless like the crime I was looking at was obstruction of justice. If you needed emergency services and they can't get there because of a locked gate, that could be something, or false imprisonment, but that doesn't really fit, especially with a road you could technically access if you needed to.
Which he doesn't have year-round access to that.
Yeah.
It's just something he cut because she continually was blocking him. I guess he's had to walk like a bunch of times. She'll just abandon cars on the road.
Yeah.
And tractors and stuff, and then he'll have to walk up to his house. So finally he said, screw this. He was trying not to pick a fight. He's kind of a, not pacifist, but like, he doesn't like a lot of confrontation.
Yeah.
But now it's just gotten out of hand, and he's got other people, also neighbors that have his back more so now.
Okay. And you were explaining to me multiple neighbors, but it seems like it's just you and him.
And Mel.
Which
The
one's
the
Mel?
middle guy. Yeah.
Melvin? Okay, but he doesn't have a address there, so he's in the same situation?
Same situation as me. He's trying to develop that and move up here. She blocked him actually from purchasing the property. She reported the company that was the real estate agent that was selling it.
Okay.
She reported her for false advertisement of a property to Fat Cat. No, different. Whatever. It's a government agency that oversees licensing for like real estate agents.
Yeah.
She reported and said, "Oh, it was Sotheby's. That's who it was." And she said they're advertising this property as they have an easement, and they don't. And so she threw this huge mess. They get to mediation, and she doesn't show up. And so a case gets thrown out, and they end up selling the property to him. Well, now we go and design a road to go in, That goes up.
Okay.
And now she's locking it. And we've, like I said, we've written her official letters. We've done all sorts of stuff. I'd like to get her criminally charged.
Yeah, well, I mean, this criminal charge seems to fit. It's obstructing highway or other passageway.
Okay.
So,
Perfect.
because did she give you access to the combination of the lock?
Nobody.
Did she give that to anyone else? No. Okay.
457.
Yeah, it seems like the most appropriate charge. So,
And she's going to, of course, scream. And then, so here's the two things. One, this is private property. This isn't her property. Mike wants to tear this down.
yeah.
When she erected it, they said you can't tear it down. We talked to lawyers. Don't tear it down. She'll sue you for damage of the property. I mean, but I'm sure she will. And then he said, but if she locks it, then you can tear it right out because it's like
Blocking your access.
blocking your access.
Yeah.
And that makes it criminal. So I want to make sure that whatever we do, make sure we can tear it out, essentially.
Okay.
And whatever we charge her with says, yeah, you got to get this thing off. Clearly,
Yeah.
this is illegal.
And again, I'm no expert on civil law, so that's something I would definitely rely on your lawyers.
Well, it's
For that.
it's a nightmare, dude.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing is, it's gonna cost us like $20,000 to get rid of her. Just
Really?
to take her to court and get a
Oh, yeah.
judgment is gonna be like $20,000.
Yeah.
Well, why do we have to spend $20,000? Because she's just throwing a pissy contest. That's all she's doing. She's just getting pissed at everybody. Whereas in this situation, now that she's obstructing everybody, we can actually, say, no, you're doing criminal activities and not have to take her to civil court and get a judgment in what would be a criminal court, which would be huge.
Yeah.
And anything else, I mean, if there's anything else you can charge her with, like hostilities or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of, at this point, what I was going to do is I was just going to gather the information, forward the information to the district attorney, because there wasn't anything I could think of, but there's these little obscure statutes that no one has ever heard of that come in handy for instances like this.
I'm
So.
sure she's not the first person to do this, but...
Well, that's the first I've heard of in 5 years, actually. Because most times you go up there and you say, hey, like, you're bordering the line of criminal action here. And they're like, okay, that's it.
Well, they already told her that when because he posted a sign saying, this gate is on private property, cease and dismiss all construction, please remove this gate within the next 24 hours. She crumpled up the sign, came onto his property, and threw it out on his property. I'm like, he's pretty much doing that. And then she also was driving all around it into the field, and so she was outside of her easement, so he got her for trespassing literally on the property.
Okay.
Right. So now we're at this point.
Okay.
And he's so sick of her, he can't even live next to her. It's a nightmare, man.
Yeah, that is rough. All right, I'm going to take a few pictures of it, and you said I can go up around.
You want to go with you, or
No, I'm just going to see if she'll answer the door and come and talk
Okay.
to me.
So that's his house that you can see.
Yep.
So if you drive up, as long as you can get over the road, you're gonna need 4 probably, and then you hang a left, and then a right essentially, and you'll see her. It's like 2 barns is what it looks like.
Okay.
One's a horse barn, and the other one's her house.
Okay.
Yeah. And
All right.
I'll let you know if she shows up down here.
Okay.
You're gonna lose service as soon as you kind of get up to his house or just past his house, just so you know.
All right, and here's my card. There's the case number.
Cool.
So what I need from you is to, if you would like, and I would highly recommend this for the case, to email me a lot of this information explaining
Okay.
why, like, she shouldn't be able to
Okay.
have this in a statement form.
Okay.
Type.
Do you want me to
deal.
send you over like the easements and like?
Whatever you
I can send you
essentially.
over her easement, our easement, and a engineered civil plan that shows them both mapped out exactly. There's like a red dotted line and a blue dotted line. And
Yeah.
It explains them right in layman's terms for people that don't read that stuff.
Well, essentially, whatever you send me, I'm just going to print out and attach to this case. So whatever you think, if you think that would help
Okay. Yeah.
in a criminal sense of her obstructing a roadway here, then yeah, that would be useful.
Perfect.
And-
I can send you over all that stuff.
Yep, and if you'd like to take the initiative of getting if you believe Michael and Melvin would also like to make statements, have them email me as well.
Okay.
And in that email, at least I would need their, the same information. And when you send me yours, if you could include, obvious things like your first and last name and who you are in this situation.
Absolutely. I'm happy to do that.
All right.
I'll hang out and wait for you just to find out what
Okay.
happens. I'm invested at this point.
Right.
So.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Then if she shows up, I want to get it on video, her opening and locking the gate anyway. So,
Okay.
And I can let you know.
All right. Sounds good.
See you.
Thank you. Jeez, turn around.
Tell you the other thing, for some reason yesterday she was digging that post hole with the Punjabi on it.
That
Yeah.
one right there.
I don't know, but she dug a 3-foot deep hole, and I put a tape on it for pictures, and dropped that's a 6-foot long pole.
Hold on one moment.
No way.
216. Go ahead.
Just checking your status.
Code 4. No need for status. All right. Well, I'm gonna head up there now and see if she's home.
Cool.
All right. Thanks. This is a pretty rough road here. Hello. My name's Deputy Stephen Hathaway. I'm looking for Kathleen.
She isn't here.
Okay, and who are you?
Jonathan.
John, and what's your relation to
I
Kathleen?
live here with her.
Okay. Are you aware of the whole situation with the fence going on and all the neighbors?
She's putting a gate up.
Or a gate, yep.
That's a temporary gate. She's
Okay.
putting a real, like, gate, like a big metal gate up.
Okay.
And it's I don't know all the stuff, but as far as I know, this road is this is her easement. It's not his, and it's not anybody's out there's. It's like she has documents, like, you know, like if a court read them, that says the easement is hers and it belongs to this property. You know, so that's all I can tell you. Why? What's the deal?
Well, I need to speak with her regarding that. She, do you know when she's going to be home?
No, I don't actually.
Okay.
No, I mean, like, you know, sometime today, but I don't know exactly when she's
Okay.
going to be here. But,
All right.
all I know is that her sister, the person that owns this property, lives in Germany,
Okay.
and we live here and take care of this place. But she owns it, and it's her deal, and she has told him, she's told that neighbor, and she's told these prospective property buyers, you know, some guy Hanley that's like a millionaire guy that's like a land speculator. She's gotten all this shit from these people. What they want to do is they want to be able to drive to bring a bulldozer and a backhoe and a whole crew of fucking guys in pickup trucks, you know, that bang nails up this road, which is our road, jump off of our road. That nobody wants, you know, you just drove up and you've seen how fucked up it is, you know, excuse me, right? And especially right where you pull into their house,
Yeah.
because they haul water, they're hauling like, you know, whatever an F-350 plus 400 gallons, I figure it's about 10,000 pounds. It's a lot of weight. We've spent probably $25,000 having having excavators come in here and grade it and fill it up. And then these people just drive on it whenever they want. And, you know, I guess because it's a non-exclusive easement, it means that the property owner can drive on it, you know, because it crosses his property. But from what I understand, it doesn't mean that anybody else can drive on it because we own it, or, you know, her sister owns it.
Yeah.
And so just by the, you know, like, well, I'm not a lawyer, but I went to law school about 35 years ago. I never, you know, I became a teacher, but I did go to law school, so I know how to read documents. And, you know, I don't represent anything other than just the person, okay? But from what I read, and I've read a lot of shit about Colorado easement law. I've read like just in the court dispositions and all this kind of stuff about it. The way it seems to me is that when you an easement it's called a conveyance, and when you buy a piece of property that has an easement, you're buying that land. Like he may own the land, but we own the fucking road base, and we own all the gravel, and we own everything that constitutes that roadway. And anyway, there's just all this shit we found out, like our road to here, our easement is for a single dwelling. If you want to have a road to another dwelling, or especially multiple dwellings, it has to meet all kinds of criteria from the county. You guys, EMS, fire, need to have that road to a specified width, and all this. There's all this kind of shit. Okay, I mean it's a whole subject in itself. I mean, you could spend a year just reading all this shit. Is Hathaway Dave? Sorry, Hathaway's your dad, right?
Yeah.
I know him.
Okay.
He's a guitar guy.
Yeah.
I've known him actually he knows my brother more, but I know him too. I just
Okay.
recognize it. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff that's involved. And you know what? Realistically, I've told Kathleen, she thinks whatever she thinks, or her sister thinks whatever she thinks, and that guy thinks whatever he thinks. But you know what? The only way the only person that can decide this shit is a judge, or maybe, I hope not a jury, but a judge, because it's all about the wording of a legal document. That's what it is. It's all about the specific language of an easement, which in Colorado is I read this recently, is complete. It's like well, I won't say 100% because nothing ever is, but I'll just say it's 99% goes to the language of the easement and nothing fucking else. It doesn't matter if Mr. Rich Guy over the hill wants to use our driveway so he can develop his land and have a road, like there'll be a road, like right there, right along our fence. It'll be like, it'll just be a stream of guys coming up here all day, banging nails and pouring concrete and all this shit. And her sister, her opinion is that we own the easement, okay? And if you don't know about, and to these other people, if you don't know about easement law and the language of easements and the legal strength of an easement in the state of Colorado, well, you need to get caught up, because we're not going to do nothing. She's going to make her gate and everything, and if those people want to sue us, fine. We're not going to spend a dime trying to sue anybody, because it's our right and it's our property. And right now, the county, how it says private drive?
Yeah.
Is that another cop?
No.
Oh, okay.
Is that Kathleen?
No, she just has a white truck, and she'd just come up here. She's not
Okay.
afraid to talk. She doesn't have any reason to not.
Because that's a white truck.
Yeah, but that's not hers.
Oh, okay.
That's a double door.
All right.
Anyway, she has just a regular truck, and it's not those people's truck either, because that's their truck right there. I don't know whose it is. There's everybody's really nosy. All these people on this road, well, not all of them, but a lot of people on this road, they don't really talk to us. We've lived here for 22 years. They don't talk to us or anything, but they sure talk behind our back, and they sure want to make our business their business, which really pisses me off, because what the fuck, we're just like anybody else. We're not criminals or drug dealers or or wackos or anything, right? We just live here and have horses. And I guess it just boils down to, for Fitzsimmons, it boils down to, we want our road, since it costs us a lot of money, and he doesn't plow it, like that guy doesn't plow this road. And it's a big job, you can tell, right? It's a long, long road. And we spend many, many hours plowing. We just have a small tractor. And one of these guys that bought one of these lots out here, him and all of his family kept coming up our road all summer, and we were just like, you're trespassing. You see that sign? That sign says you're trespassing. And the guy got in her face and said, "Well, realtor didn't tell me that." And Kath said, "Well, you can't trust a realtor wants to sell property. He's not going to tell you everything." And if and other people that we told about this earlier, like a few years ago, they just said, "No way, we're not buying this, because this is a potential problem, right?"
Yeah.
And we've told these, I don't know the names of anybody except some guy named Hanley, who's like a big rich guy in Steamboat. He's a property speculator. My brother knows who he is. These guys want to be able to use this road and then not spend a penny fixing it or upgrading it, and none of them will. And we've told everybody, we're happy to engage in a legal agreement where we have a document saying our rights and our responsibilities, your rights and your responsibilities, and get it notarized and have it recorded in the court. We'll do that. And none of them will agree to it. They all just go, "Fuck you." I mean, they don't say that, but they just send us nasty letters. We've gotten all these nasty letters from lawyers, okay?
Yeah.
And you know what? I mean,
well,
it's neither here nor there.
So
But I got a lot of lawyers in my family. My nephew, who's like probably your age, he's a lawyer. My brother is a lawyer. His wife is a lawyer. She's a judge in California. I've grown up around legal stuff, okay?
So the only issue that really arises, because like you said, most of this stuff is determined by a judge. It's
Totally.
not a law enforcement
Totally.
issue.
Right. It's
The
a
only
civil
time
matter.
it does become a law enforcement issue, or it potentially could
Is
be.
it trespass?
Well, there's that, but when the gate is locked, actually blocking access,
Okay.
I'm not saying that it is a criminal action at this
Sure,
point. It's something
sure.
that needs to be investigated, but it could potentially become
Okay.
a criminal issue.
Okay, but you know what? And is that based on the idea that emergency vehicles come up here, or that guy can't access his
Well,
property?
so
Because he's got
the
his own
emergency
road.
vehicle would be one separate thing, but there is another criminal statute obstructing a roadway.
Yeah, but how listen to this. I don't want to interrupt you. Sorry, but how about if that roadway is a private drive,
Well,
which it
there's-
is.
So again, there's multiple sides to this story.
No
right?
shit.
So when it comes into question reasonably that it might actually be an easement and not a private drive, then it becomes more convoluted than.
Yeah, but I'll tell you something. And if you check this out in law books, which you probably have access to because you're a sheriff. If you check this out, an easement is something that's called a conveyance, and it also in Colorado does something that's called the lawyers, the judges even say the easement runs with the land. So we own this land, and that easement came with it. So that easement runs to our land, and so if somebody wants to get down to real, like I said, like if a judge gets down to brass tacks, he's just probably going to say, well, it's your easement, and so those people can go pound salt because that's the law in Colorado.
Okay, and
You know what I mean?
I don't have that knowledge.
No, I know,
So.
and you know what? And like I said, I'm not trying to pass myself off as a lawyer because I didn't graduate from law school. I dropped out and switched.
Right.
But I went for a year,
Yep.
and I'm an educated person. I used to be a teacher, and as far as I can read, okay, that seems to be the truth. And these people who might be like complaining about us, or Hanley, or whoever, they're just blowing smoke, okay? And you know what? The county told us. I swear to God, the county told us. They said, if you don't want people driving up your road, they said you need to make a fucking gate. They said that's what people do out here in the country. And there's also a legal thing where if we don't do anything, and all of a sudden, party X comes up here with a whole excavation crew, right, running up a $10,000 bill. You know how much it costs to have road graders and just all that shit, right? Like those guys charge a lot of money. If a bunch of people like that come up and go out, just turn off the road, like over where those antelope are, and just start barreling across this, it ain't our land, okay? But what is our land is their access to their land. And there's also an easement that runs on County Road 52. Like, these people are claiming that this is an easement for them. No, the land out there, we have all these maps. They've like done all this homework, okay,
Right.
about all this shit. All the land, the properties in question that these people want to use our road for have a perfectly beautiful, clear easement that takes off right off of 52E.
Yep.
But the only problem is it costs a lot of money to build an easement, okay? But you know what? I just know this because I've lived here for 20-something years. It costs a lot of money to build a house here. And it's an expensive place, right?
Yeah.
If you want to live out in the country, that's what you got to do. You can't necessarily jump on your neighbor's road, okay?
And what's your legal first and last name?
Jonathan Hands.
Okay.
Hands.
H-A-N...
DS.
Oh, for hands, okay.
Yeah.
And then your date of birth?
120-154.
And then what's your phone number?
819-2988.
And then what's a phone number for Kathleen?
819-1385.
All right.
I'd
Well,
say you should just call her.
Yeah,
You
I'll
know,
give her a call.
I mean, because she'll, like, she'll leave the gate open, okay? But the deal is that we want that gate to be shut in case these people that maybe they contacted y'all, I don't know, but if we see a bunch of people coming up this road with bulldozers and excavating equipment, we're going to go down there, okay? I'm not going to bring a firearm with me because I'm not that stupid, okay? Because I don't want to get arrested by you guys, and I'm not going to shoot anybody, okay? But you know what? Part of me would like to do that, okay?
Well, that would be very
No.
not advisable.
No, I know. That's why I said a part of me. You know what? Okay, the redneck part of me would like to do that. I'm not going to do that. I promise you. Okay, you're never going to get a call that like I pulled a gun on somebody. I don't like being involved with you guys except like this.
Right.
I don't like being handcuffed.
For sure.
I don't like going to jail.
For sure.
You know, I've done that kind of shit in my youth, when I was like in my 20s. I mean, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Just pot and stuff like that. I got arrested for pot when it was really illegal. I had two guys crouching, pointing at me with their pistols, ready to fucking shoot me. Okay, because of marijuana, and all they found was like that much. You know, just because I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. You know. So anyway, I learned my respect about that shit. I wouldn't do that. But I'm just saying, it's very irritating because here's what I was going to tell you. What the county told us, they said if you don't put up a physical barrier, they said what happens in Routt County is that people with a lot of money and a lot of interest, they just push their way through and they step on the little people. And we're just little people. You know, we're not millionaires. We don't have, you know what I mean? We're not driving big, you know, we don't have a fleet of trucks or anything, you know.
Yeah.
This is a pretty modest place.
Right.
I'm driving a 35-year-old tractor, like my car.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Okay.
So that's, you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
I said, this is like, I guess, you know, you can make a report on this or whatever.
Yep.
But it's like off the record, like, because what I said is just like hearsay. You know, it's just
Right.
what I think, right?
Yep.
I'm not like I'm not giving you like a legal view of everything. You're just getting my view.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you know what? Because, hey, it's like we've been putting up with bullshit like this for over 20 years, you know.
Yeah.
And we get people driving all the way up to this barn, all the way up here, that are lost. They think it's that house, or most recently, people came up here and they said, "Can you tell us about that property out there that's for sale?" And we said, call your realtor, and also you're trespassing.
Yeah.
And that got back to the realtor. We had people writing us nasty letters from Sotheby's.
Really?
I swear, I'm not bullshitting you.
Huh.
I
Well,
mean,
I'll give
you know what I
Kathleen.
mean?
Yeah, I'll give
Anyway.
Kathleen a call, and I'm gonna just.
Just give her a call and tell her what you need to. You know, I mean, you know what? If she's got to leave the gate open, she can just live with it. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, right? Just between you and me. What the fuck is, you know, what is anybody gonna do?
Right.
Right?
Okay.
We don't have a tank or anything.
Yeah.
You know, so we can't shoot artillery at anybody.
Right.
And like I said, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I wouldn't. I was just almost like joking. But
Okay.
you know, people get. It's really a piss off, okay?
Yeah.
And the biggest piss off is to think that some guy whose only interest is like some future sale of his land, or Mike, who has his own road.
Do you know if he's home?
I don't think I think
Okay.
they're on vacation.
All right.
But I'll tell you one thing. Okay, you came up the road straight, right?
Yeah.
Well, that road that veers off to the right.
Or that's the road I went on.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, because that's his road.
Yeah.
That's his friggin' road. And you know, this really has pissed Kathleen off for years. When you come up the road and you go through the gate, it says 24475.
Yep.
That's this address.
Yep.
His address, you know what? I'm not going to ask you or anybody to look it up, but we don't know it. We've never known it. Why? Because he doesn't have it posted anywhere. And when the fire marshal came out here, like we had like a grass fire that got out of hand last summer, or last summer, yeah. The fire department came out here from North Routt, and the fire commander came up and was talking to us, and he said those people, by law in Routt County, have to have a post or something with their
Address.
number on it. Yeah,
All right.
I mentioned that to another sheriff's deputy who came out here to talk to Kathleen about the same thing. I said that to him, and he said, "Oh, that's just." He said, "You know what he said?" He goes, "Well, we know that that's." He said, "We know that that's their address." You know, and I'm not going to argue with him, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna see if he's home, and I'm gonna give Kathleen a call. So.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for
Take care.
talking to me and letting me know some of this stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you talk to your dad ever?
Yeah.
Tell him Paul's brother said hi. He's friends with my brother Paul.
Okay. All
And I'm
right.
Paul's brother, but he knows that I'm a guitar player too.
Okay. Awesome.
In fact, I think I took a guitar to him a couple times to have him set it up and
Oh.
help me with it years ago.
Yeah. Cool.
Anyway, take it easy.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right.
Hello, is anyone home? Yeah, he said they're on vacation. Hello, James. She was not home. I talked with her person she's living with for a bit. And I think that actually is going to be for the better. What I'm going to do is what I was originally going to do. I'm going to compile all the information and forward it to the district attorney. So what I knocked over at Michael's house Looks like he wasn't home. I don't know if he's out of town or.
He is.
Okay.
He'll be on the. He can get on the phone, no problem.
Okay.
So you're not gonna write a ticket?
Well, she's not here right now, so I can't do that at the moment. Anyways.
Can you issue a ticket to warrant?
I'm gonna speak with some more people and get some more advice because this is a really convoluted issue.
What did he say?
He was saying, "Oh well, we own the easement," or a bunch of. Yeah, that was essentially what he was trying to say. That he doesn't own the land, but the easement is his, or this or that, and
So he has, or he doesn't.
right, or
Neither of them do.
okay,
Older sister does, right?
yeah,
But they have a non-exclusive
yeah.
easement.
So that would be all stuff that would be very useful for me to be able to see, and that way, when I contact Kathleen, it's a lot more clear, cut, and dry. Because right now he's saying one thing and you're saying another thing, and
So what are you doing about? Is he going to come unlock the gate because he's blocking? I mean, that's illegal. He's blocking everybody access.
yeah, so I'm gonna give Kathleen a call
Okay.
and just go from there. So
You
yeah,
Tell her she at least has to unlock it because Mike wants to come back and just tear it out
right,
because this is absurd,
yeah,
right? And I'm of the same nature. I would too, but it's his property.
yeah.
And she has no right to do that. So, I mean, I'm sure he's saying the same shit they've been telling everybody.
Yeah, and at this point, without seeing any documents, it's he said, she said, right? So,
I mean, I can show you. I got the documents on my phone if you really want to see them.
well, I think if you were able to email everything and a statement to me, that would help me much better than if I'm looking roadside at some stuff I don't really know what it means, you know what I mean? And
I'll have it to you in, I don't know, an hour.
okay,
The
and
whole bundle. It's
and-
all on a case file.
okay, and it would also be really useful. I don't know if you have Michael's either his phone number or if you can tell him to give me an email with his side of the statement. And also another thing I forgot to tell you to include is in the email, make sure you let me know if you want criminal charges to be pressed. That way
Everybody does.
that way it's written down. And same with Michael.
And then I'll see if I can get a hold of Mel also.
Okay.
Because he's part of all this as well.
Okay. And then I'm gonna.
But I do verbally, yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay, and I'm gonna go back to where I have better service, see if I can give Kathleen a call, see what she has to say. Hopefully she'll just unlock the gate and leave it unlocked.
This is the best service you're gonna get. Just
Okay.
so you know.
Yeah.
You get a little bit along this road, and then as soon as it turns that way,
Yeah.
it dies all the way to the other side of the canyon.
Okay.
And then it's not till like just past the airport.
Right.
I mean, you know that.
Yeah.
You know, like past Costco and all that.
Yeah. So
You're
as
gonna have the best right here.
so I'll probably. Would you like me to call you or text you later today with any updated information? Okay. So as of right now, what I actually am not going to be working for the next 3 days after today, and I'll be coming back, and hopefully I'll have some more information from the district attorney after I send them the case today.
So is this just gonna stay locked then?
Well,
She's blocking me from being able to do my work.
if so, again, because I don't know the whole situation wholly, if you truly have access to that and you cut the lock, I mean, then there's no issue there. But hopefully I'll be able to. I'm gonna go into town, talk to my supervisor, and get some second opinions. Call Kathleen, and basically tell her like, hey, you're setting yourself up for multiple criminal charges if you leave the gate locked. And
Really, you can tell her that it's just that the gate's there, but
yeah, well, that's more of a civil
it is
issue.
I understand that, and she has no right to even put the gate there. But obviously,
Yeah.
we're trying to get it torn out.
Right. Okay.
So, however you want to approach that, but the fact that she's abusing the power of a gate that she doesn't even have, legality of putting a gate there.
Yeah.
And I'll send you. I'll have it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not. It's not. He said. She said. I promise you. I do this shit for a living.
Right.
I'll send you over. You know, I got a file folder. You know, I got all sorts of stuff. But I'll get you the paraphrase, simple version that will clear it up for you real quick.
Okay.
And then yeah, I mean the fact that he is abusing power. So just the gate being there in any kind, it's some sort of an intimidation factor.
Right.
At any time, I'll lock the gate on.
Yeah.
Right? What the fuck is that? Right?
Yeah.
We gotta live with that. Anytime we want to come out here, I gotta carry a pair of bolt cutters or whatever else, you know.
Right.
It's an abuse of power at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So, just one thing. You know.
Yeah, and that's another good thing about sending cases to the district attorneys. They're lawyers. They've gone through law school. They know these laws in and out, so they'll be able to see, hey, maybe there is another criminal charge here.
Okay. All right. But you got pictures. Everything's documented. It's locked.
Yeah.
He just said, "Screw off. We own it."
Essentially, he spoke for a long time. But yeah.
Is that pretty much all he said? Did he have any other anything else?
You know, he's saying from his perspective, he wanted to be civil about it, but people are abusing the road, and he pays for the road, and all this stuff.
They haven't paid for any of them.
Yeah.
I know the history. It's just funny that that's what he says.
Right.
Because Mike's the one that did all the road maintenance, and before that it was a neighbor that redid it all for him as a thank you.
Yeah.
You probably weren't around. Did you grow up here?
Yeah, but I mean, I've never really been up in this area.
You remember the story of the little girl that got lost? She walked out of her house. It was like -40. It was one of the coldest days.
Oh, yeah, I do know that
Somebody
girl.
found her in the ditch.
Yeah, yeah.
Saved her life. That was this lady did it. The one that's building the gate.
Yeah.
The one nice thing I think she's ever done. But they paid, the family paid to do the road for her.
Yeah.
And that was their way of thanking her because she never did any maintenance.
Yeah.
Since then, Mike did the last set of road for her.
Right.
It's funny that he says he paid for the road. Good shit. So it's interesting hearing what they have to say about it.
Right.
And who's abusing it? What do you mean by that?
He's saying a bunch of stuff with, people wanting to come up here with heavy equipment, damaging the road.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm
Yeah.
the only one doing construction, and the most we brought up here is a truck to put down stakes. So,
Yeah, so...
I'm sorry, man. I find it kind of humorous. I shouldn't. My buddy's a cop.
Right.
He's local PD.
Okay,
We're
who's
really,
that?
Really good friend of mine. Matt Gadwa.
Okay.
I grew up with. We're like best friends.
Okay.
So I really feel bad for you. I'm sorry I'm laughing. Because
Yeah,
I'm laughing
you're
at
right.
him constantly for the bullshit he has to put up with. So I don't mean to be like a dick about it.
Oh, no, you're good.
But yeah, he's like the stuff you guys have to deal with. Like, I don't want to deal with this. And I know you deal with it on a regular basis.
Right. The main issue is just that it's so convoluted at this point. But hopefully, yeah, I'll get some... It'll be a little more clear.
You'll have a nice file of clearing it up.
Okay.
And
All right.
I'll run home and I'll get it right over to you with a general statement.
All right, well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thanks.
All right, man. Appreciate you coming out.
Yeah.
At least seeing it.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Talk to you soon.
Have a good one. Bye. End video.